CTV News with Jack Morse.
I feel like I'm just left on my own. I've got no help whatsoever other than the tenants in the building.
Dozens of lives uprooted, more than 50 people forced out of their apartments with nowhere to go and no clear end in sight. Thank you for joining us. After more than a week in temporary shelter, stress and anxieties mounting for the tenants of 96 Ross Street after a fire forced them from their homes. CTV's Luke Simard reports.
It's super frustrating. Like, very few people have got any sort of communication from management.
An electrical fire just outside of Barrie's downtown core on Ross Street has left more than 50 people without a place to live. Those tenants now searching for answers as they remain locked out.
Any of our stuff that's left in there, we can't grab, and it's your stuff is being held hostage now, essentially, and we have nothing for ourselves or our son or anything like that, so you feel hopeless.
Pictures obtained by CTV News show the damage done by the electrical fire. The building has been declared unsafe by the city of Barrie, and there are orders that need to be carried out by the management company prior to October 24th. No one can go inside until it is deemed safe after an engineer's inspection. Most residents grabbing what they could before leaving, now wondering when they can go back and collect the rest of their property.
We just want answers, and we want to make sure, people have a place to stay, because we all pay rent.
With tenants who spoke to CTV News asking for one thing: clarity on the situation.
To have transparency from the place that we call home is what would be nice. Whether it's the answers we want or the answers we don't, to have full transparency to know what's going on would be the best.
Red Cross assisted in providing immediate accommodations after the fire.
Red Cross paid for 3 days. The apartment building, they paid for 2, and then the rest has been up on me. I'm having a hard time finding a place to live because I can't go in on stairs.
In a statement to CTV News, Canadian Red Cross said they provided support to people affected in the initial days following the fire before transitioning support to property management. What that transition looks like is unknown. According to the County of Simcoe, some residents have accessed insurance and others have found short-term rental solutions. Residents say they have not been able to reach the management company. Those affected offering a simple message.
Don't take for granted where you're living, because I never thought I'd be homeless. I thought my age we could live in the apartment, and in a blink of an eye I'm homeless.
Calls and emails to the landlord and Skyview Living for more information have gone unanswered. It remains unclear if or when residents from 96 Ross Street will be allowed back inside to gather their belongings. Luke Simard, CTV News, Barrie.
A long-term offender hearing will not go ahead for a Clearview Township man convicted of trying to lure young girls. CTV's Mike Arcelides was in the Barrie courtroom today, but first a warning: some viewers may find the details of this report disturbing.
Nearly 2 years after he was convicted of criminal harassment and trying to abduct 12-year-old girls at a park in Angus, 38-year-old Anthony Holtorf will be deemed a long-term offender. Crown attorney Miriam Vilmo-Pallister and defense lawyer Mary Creamer confirmed the resolution ahead of what was supposed to be the start of Holtorf's long-term offender hearing. The Crown told the court under the agreement Holtorf will accept his long-term offender status and a sentence of 2 years less a day at a facility in Brampton called the Ontario Correctional Institute for treatment in its sexual offender program. Long-term offender status applies to those who pose a substantial risk of reoffending. Holtorf was convicted in late 2023 of 2 counts of criminal harassment and trying to abduct 2 12-year-old girls at an Angus park in March of 2019. Holtorf was charged when the girls came forward and told their parents. The girls, whose identities remain protected under a publication ban, testified in court. Holtorf offered one of them money and sweets, trying repeatedly to get the girl to leave her friends and join Holtorf in his car. When police arrived, they discovered Holtorf had a backpack in his car, in it a neck collar attached to a metal chain, a metal whip, pre-knotted ropes, 4 sets of Velcro restraints, and condoms. The resolution comes about a year after the Crown sought to have Holtorf deemed a long-term offender, pending a forensic psychologist's report. Holtorf remains out on bail after serving about 2.5 years behind bars prior to trial. As part of the proposed resolution with the defense, today the Crown told the court Holtorf will be under an 8-year long-term supervision order, the conditions of which will be based on recommendations from the forensic psychologist who authored the report on Holtorf. The matter is scheduled to resume Wednesday. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Barrie.
The OPP has launched an investigation after multiple reports of vandalism in Orillia. Officers say over the weekend numerous cars and homes were defaced with hate-motivated graffiti near Gill Street and James Street. And meanwhile, 3 people are now facing multiple charges after Orillia OPP seized a handgun, ammunition and drugs, a mailbox key and other items. It happened Sunday night near Memorial Avenue. Let's take a first look at the forecast. First weather brought to you by Presler Injury Law. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. Nothing to talk about on the radar out there right now. Let's move right on to the current temperatures. And what we're seeing is a spread from the low teens all the way up to 20 degrees. 20 in Toronto, the low of 11 in Algonquin Park. We'll have your full forecast a little bit later in the show. The mayor was on the hot seat at a public meeting in Barrie tonight as neighbors had their say on the city's proposed boundary adjustment.
I think this is a land grab. I think they have to bring the public in. I think Barrie is grabbing land for industrial purposes. They don't need to. We don't need growth that way. We need to be supporting our environment. We don't need more industry going into Lake Simcoe, which is already just barely getting by in terms of salinity. If they wanted infrastructure, it's in Innisfil. If you want more industry, go south.
Security was on hand to make sure things stayed civil as many more voiced their disagreement with Barrie's plan to expand city limits to include parts of Springwater and Ormodonte. Not everyone in the crowd was opposed to joining Barrie.
We are in a severe housing crisis. We have experienced firsthand the slowness of development, the excruciating burden of red tape that does not allow this province in particular, certain counties and municipalities to move forward in a positive way to get housing done.
Barrie's mayor has said the land is needed for the city's growing population and industry and says they're offering fair compensation. The townships, looking at losing the land, have pushed back and are holding their own public meetings in the first half of next month. Ontario's minimum wage is going up, the hope to help workers keep up with the cost of living. Minimum wage workers are getting a raise Wednesday, up from $17.20 to $17.60. It's 40 cents an hour. For an 8-hour shift, that works out to about $3.20 more, a drop in the bucket for many.
With the increase, it's better. I wouldn't necessarily say it's sufficient enough yet.
The minimum wage increase has bumped up pay for the lowest paid workers by about 25% over the last 7 years, but it's pegged to the consumer price index, roughly equal to the rate of inflation. It serves to keep workers' buying power the same as prices go up.
It's still really expensive to live.
A small increase, but it means about $800 more a year for full-time staff. The Barrie Chamber of Commerce says it's the least employers can do.
If you're in business and you can't afford to pay your employees, you need to reevaluate, where it is that you're going. Your employees are your lifeblood of your business, and deserve to be put, somewhere ahead of other expenses.
Business owners will have to decide to absorb the cost or pass it along to their customers. Higher wages for staff is a price Peyton Irwin's bosses are happy to pay.
If our employees are feeling valued, they have financial success, they're able to contribute to their communities, live better lifestyles, we're for that.
It's not just students. More than 800,000 people in Ontario work for minimum wage, mostly in retail, accommodation, and food service. Though some restaurant workers, like Irwin, do make tips.
With the increase in groceries, increase in rent, it's becoming unlivable for people that are just making minimum wage.
Sunday marks 70 years here for us at CTV Barrie, formerly known as CKVR. From the familiar faces to pillars of the community, we'll be traveling back through time this week. Here's longtime reporter Rob Cooper.
CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
70 years and counting for what is now CTV News Barrie. From black and white through today, the delivery of your local news has changed, but stayed the same in many ways.
70 years we've been bringing the news to people, important news, what's been going on in their community. It's been an important part of generations, and I'm so proud to have been part of that.
Local news a top priority for the countless staff that have worked here over the years.
Hi there, it's Heather Butts from CTV National News, wishing everyone at the station and in the community a very happy anniversary.
Many of the names and faces have come and gone, many still on your screen. The call letters CKVR still holding a special place in many hearts.
Hi folks, I'm Janie Robinson and I worked at the television station off and on from 1980 till 2001.
We are broadcasting from our brand new newsroom.
It's been a wild run for the past 7 decades. Some of the people at the station have become family to many. Who could ever forget weatherman Bob McIntyre and his love for weather and flying? The former weatherman passed away at age 73 in 2016. Frank Ferragini was his friend and colleague.
But my favorite memory of all time is just being in the garden with Bob. From that, it was my launching pad all the way to becoming a weatherman and really just following in his footsteps. So 70 years, congrats.
Casey Colby has worked at the station for nearly 25 years. He was also heavily influenced by Bob.
I think the greatest gift Bob McIntyre ever gave me was to live in the moment, to understand the privilege that we enjoy each and every day and what life is each and every day.
The station has been a significant part of the region, covering community stories that matter. Our staff have lived and played in Simcoe County and cherished their time working for you, the viewer.
Hello, I'm Michelle Rayo. Many fond memories of my time at the station and the great people I got to meet. But most importantly, I enjoyed working with the VR team, forming great relationships as we faced the challenges of getting the news on the air.
Too many stories to single out just one, but coverage of the deadly tornado that ripped through Barrie in 1985 and a devastating fire that burned through downtown Barrie live on the air in 2007. Clear examples of just the small part we play in keeping people informed with what's happening in their community.
We're live on the air. You came down quickly this morning. Was this difficult for you to watch?
It was. It's an old landmark in Barrie. Everybody knows it downtown.
An honor and a privilege we don't take lightly, helping share the stories that shape our community. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
Coming up right after the break, we'll have more on our station's 70th anniversary. Special guest and longtime anchor Tony Grace takes us through 70 years of CKVR. Stay right here. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Thanks for staying with us. We're celebrating 70 years of CKVR. As many viewers now know, CTV News Barrie. Longtime anchor Tony Grace is taking us back in time to uncover the story behind our station.
And please send us your comments. Please tell us how the signal came in.
That's Ralph Snellgrove, the founder of CKVR, on September 28, 1955. It was a big day. A ribbon was cut, the station was launched, and viewers were treated to a live World Series game.
And when he cuts that ribbon, we'll go right to Yankee Stadium, and we'll have our first World Series game.
The VR stands for Valerie and Ralph Snellgrove. Ralph brought Barrie its first radio station 6 years earlier. By 1955, TV was the hot new thing. But people could only get Toronto or Buffalo stations. So he and station manager Jack Mattingly started planning CKVR.
We were all green as grass. We didn't know one thing from another.
Maybe not, but they had a plan. First, find a location. They chose farmland on Little's Hill beside Essa Road, a great spot because of its high altitude. After all, there was no cable or satellite TV back then. The tower was the only way the signal was beamed into people's homes.
We bought 15 acres of land from a chap by the name of Stan King.
Next, get some broadcasting equipment.
His equipment was very expensive, even then.
Mattingly and Snellgrove drove to the States and bought $17,000 worth of broadcast equipment from a startup company run out of someone's garage.
Some of it was terrible. Terrible, causes a lot of trouble.
But with an ambitious staff, it wasn't long before the creative juices were flowing.
I loved them all because they were good people.
CKVR was giving people a new window on their communities and the world. There were cooking shows, music shows, game shows, talk shows, and news. Everything was done live, including commercials. That's just how things were.
Which meant you had to remember everything you had to say and do, and you didn't get any second chances. And I remember one dreadful thing. It was for Christie's Premium Crackers in the crisp wax wrapper that keeps the crackers crisp. And if you think that's easy to say when you're worrying about other things, let me tell you it isn't.
Going into an hour's show, live, no rehearsals, provided a lot of excitement. And when you're working with 4- and 5-year-olds, you never know exactly what they're going to say next.
Through the 60s, the station and its staff grew, and important transitions were underway. Late in the decade, the big networks would start broadcasting in color. CKVR would catch up, and by the mid-70s, so would its news department, giving everything an entirely new look. Through the 70s, as the station grew and expanded its broadcast area further, it also started to focus more on Muskoka.
I'd like to introduce you to a new idea, Summer City.
This pitch film describing Muskoka as Summer City encouraged advertisers to spread their message to city folks who made their summer playgrounds in cottage country.
A large, affluent summer population enjoying a good time in Ontario's vacation land, spending an impressive number of vacation dollars.
Business was booming. Channel 3 was big, and the promotions were hard to miss. This three-mobile was a car specially reconstructed for events and parades.
CKVR. Old friends and new friends and moments we've shared.
Change was always in the air. As the station evolved through the decades, not only would our logo undergo several transformations, in 1995, the station itself would too.
From Newmarket to Barrie, from Orillia to Parry Sound, it's VR Land News.
In what would be the biggest on-air shakeup since the station launched, CKVR was rebranded the New VR.
That's gotta hurt.
With a fast-paced, animated, and energetic focus, the VR identity would be around for a decade.
The Year in Review 2006, an 8-channel news special.
Good evening.
New ownership meant a different focus and a change to A Channel. And by 2011, the well-known CTV brand was in place.
CTV News with Tony Grace and Jane Pritchard.
Through years of looks, styles, sounds, and names, the station still stands in the same place today and still serves the same purpose, a source of entertainment and local news for the region it serves.
Blue Jays fans are flying high after the team clinched the American League East Division for the first time in a decade. CTV's Sean Leathong has more on how fans are celebrating.
A celebration a decade in the making. The Toronto Blue Jays are American League East champions.
It's a very fulfilling feeling because this group is so close. And, it's the first division title in a long time here, so I'm happy for every fan in the city.
Clinching the division at home on the last day of the season is a statement, but not an ending, according to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I love this team and I love the city, so I feel so happy to win with this city.
Where do we go from here?
Job is not finished, so we got to keep going and we got to keep winning.
Now that the champagne has dried up, there's a new phrase surrounding this team. We want it all, as fans continue to revel in the excitement.
Absolutely awesome. They deserved it. They worked hard and they ground all season long, got the finish they needed.
Inside the Jays shop, merchandise marking the division champs is going fast.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6 shirts and a hat. Bring back to the family, and we're all really excited about the postseason.
Divisional champs. My dad was wearing the one from 2015 last night, so I had to get him a new one.
Gotta get it updated, eh?
Yeah.
Many of the fans in here were at yesterday's game, and they came from across Canada, like David and Jim Flather from Winnipeg, who attended their first ever home game.
Unbelievable. We show up for our first game and there's a grand slam. I mean, what are the odds?
And a drive to deep left field. Gone!
Alejandro Kirk's first inning grand slam would be all the Jays needed yesterday, bringing 42,000 fans to their feet. Two of those fans, 8-year-old Isaac and 11-year-old Alex Fairhurst from Calgary, have a positive outlook for the playoffs.
How far can they go?
Really far.
World Series?
Yep.
What do you think?
World Series as well.
Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Time now for a look at the extended forecast. First, going to our tower here at 33 Beacon Road. Beautiful night over the city. Lovely skies, good temperature. It's a good time to be out there, if you ask me. Those temperatures we were talking about, from 12 to 19, 12 in Barrie, all the way up to 19 in Toronto. Let's check the almanac today. Look at the high. Got all the way up to 23, and that's actually pretty close to the record, that is just 26.7, set back all the way in 1921. Looking at the forecast for the next 24 hours, clear skies all the way through the morning there and into the afternoon and into the evening. It's going to be a beautiful day. Looking at the temperatures for tomorrow in southern Georgian Bay, 21 pretty much across the board. The low point there, 20 in Owen Sound. Heading a little bit further south to check out near Toronto, we have 21 in Georgina, Bradford, and Newmarket, going up to 22 and 23. Toward Cottage Country, we're seeing a little bit cooler temperatures there. 20 is the number, except in Huntsville, which is going to be the low point at 19. And as you saw there, sun all across the region, and more of that this week. For Simcoe County, you've got that temperature floating right around 20, sun through the rest of the week. For York Region, same story. That temperature right around 20, goes up a little bit later in the week, and sun through the rest of the week. Those single digits in the evenings. Looking to Muskoka, Parry Sound, and Halliburton now, sun. That's what we're hearing. Those 20-degree highs during the daytime, that sunshine, and then getting cool at night, as low as 3 on Wednesday. That's your 5-day forecast. Still ahead, a celebration of rural spirit, fun, and the farming connection at the 132nd annual Coldwater Fair. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Thanks for sticking with us. For the first time on Saturday night, the entirely volunteer Furry Friends Animal Shelter held a charity gala to boost rescue efforts for local cats and kittens.
Over 75% of our funds raised go to vet the cats and feed the cats, so that's where all of our money goes.
It's been very successful. We've had over 120 people come to our gala this evening, and our silent auction is doing fabulous. Furry Friends has adopted out over 500 cats last year, and we're heading toward that for this year as well. So we've also intaken over 500 cats and had them vetted and got them ready for their forever homes.
The Traditions Banquet Hall donated the space, a roast beef dinner with a signature drink like the Cos Meowpolitan and the Moscow Meow. The evening raised $9,000, and you can see our Sarah Freemark there. All the proceeds go toward helping find homes for 500 animals every year. The community in Coldwater came together for the township's annual fall fair this weekend.
So this engine would have been mounted on a wagon with its own portable boiler.
The festival this year is all about from farm to table. So all about how we actually get the food that we get and how we eat. It's really sort of important to appreciate everything that sort of goes on behind the scenes, so we can get those awesome meals we get every day, right?
Paige has qualified for the Royal Winter Fair again this year, so she gets to take her heifer down to Toronto and show her calf. This will be her second year there, but it's a lot of hard work. You put a lot of hours into your heifer, and every kid here does.
We have some older kids watching the younger kids too, so they can just constantly ride the rides over and over again, and we can enjoy the cows.
It's nice to see the local vendors too.
And the cute fluffy cows.
It's an amazing fair every year for sure. Definitely, if you haven't been to one before, to definitely come out to it and just have a good time. Really, at the end of the day, there's nothing else to it. Have some food, have some rides, and yeah, just enjoy the time.
After an evening of tractor pulls Saturday, the weekend wrapped up with Farm Olympics, nail driving, and log sawing on Sunday. Also in Coldwater, cyclists came together for Oma's Ride to raise money for the Alzheimer's Society of Simcoe County, a tribute to a local woman who lived with dementia.
So my Oma was in her 90th year when she passed away. And this is really something that I wanted to bring forward to inspire people around what's your why. So we all have a story or a connection about where we spend our time, where we donate our money, and wanting to bring a new event that could raise money and tap into another sport. So we do our walk every May. It's beautiful, But our family loves to cycle. We wanted to showcase bringing community together.
My dad was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's when I was 17. He was 53 and he lived with it for 10 years. And so as a teenager, I quickly grew up fast and became his caregiver. Everything from making sure that he ate to taking his medications and bathroom routines, everything. So it's pretty tough.
Alzheimer's itself and dementia. Dementia is the umbrella, and Alzheimer's is just one of the types of dementia that you can have. It is growing substantially in Canada and all across the world. We are seeing those needs definitely increase. And so as those needs increase, of course, our fundraising needs do as well.
Donations are accepted until the end of October with the hopes of raising $60,000 to improve access to social recreational programming. Saturday was all about power moves at Georgian College's Midland campus, where a group of women leveled up their skills for jobs in high demand.
With a CWB ticket, you can go into a potential employer, say I have this ticket, and get yourself a on-the-spot weld test and potentially a job.
We want to run the positive, negative charge, and then we have our heat. So we are learning stick welding, so being able to learn how to bead, try to making the perfect arc.
The third pass is going to go right here on Bob, and it's just going to fill that way.
Very empowering. Very empowering. It's nice to see women coming out into the trades more and empowering each other and supporting each other. It's emotional, but very empowering as well.
To have more and more women coming through and learning those skills and progressing the environment, I think that is a really incredible thing for that to be changing.
This unique workshop runs 5 Saturdays straight, packing 30 hours of hands-on learning. And that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for watching. A reminder, no show tomorrow as we pause to reflect and honor National Truth and Reconciliation Day. Good night.